23rd of May 2022. Hope everybody out there is having a good day today. I'm going to start off by saying if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. We're trying to hit 500 subscribers by the end of the month. Feel free to share any and all my videos. Talk to you a little bit today about sacrificing. Someone told me the other day, they said, well, I just can't sacrifice, not stopping and getting my $9 coffee, or I need to go out to eat 2 or 3 times a week. I just can't give that up. If you're not willing to give little things like that up, what are you going to do when everything crashes around us? When the dollar's worthless, when there's no food in the stores, There's things like that you could be saving money. I mean, $9 for a coffee, that's a lot. $9 can buy you several cans of canned food to put up. I've said repeatedly and repeatedly, if you want to use the prepackaged buckets that every one of these channels sell, if that's your way you want to do it. But you can stock up cheaper by buying canned foods. We all know that. Canned foods are starting to go up in price. Like I told you, we don't have the 2 for $1 no more. They went up to 64 cents a can. So, it's just going to keep getting higher and higher every time we turn around. They're still talking about fuel prices going up. All this stuff's going up and going up. And you can't sacrifice not going out to eat 2 or 3 times a week, or you can't sacrifice not getting your coffee or something like that that's costing, $9, $10 for a cup of coffee. It's crazy how some people think. They like when gas goes up, they'll complain and complain and complain, but they're still going to buy it because the common answer you'll get is, I'm not going to walk. Well, they condition us. They got gas up to $4. Everybody was just raising a fit over it, but they were still buying it. They dropped it down, $3.50, $3.60 a gallon, somewhere in there. You didn't hear much complaining. People were thankful that it dropped down that much. Well, now they've eased it back up to over $4 here in my area. It's averaging $4.29 a gallon. I've said it before. I know it's higher than other areas, but people in this area bring home pay after taxes, insurance, and all that stuff is going to come up to $8, $9 an hour, somewhere in there, maybe 10 on the high side. Guys, it's the summer month. I know everybody's wanting to take vacations. Everybody's going to be going everywhere, running everywhere. First of all, with gas prices the way they are, and I looked up the other night down in Gulf Shores where we used to go a lot when my kids were little. I haven't been down there in about 10 years or 12 years. We used to pay around $1,700 to $1,800 for 6 nights down there, renting a condo. When I looked last night, it was $3,400. So that's double. And of course, we've had hurricanes come through. Like everybody, when a hurricane comes through, I always say, well, don't worry that it tore that building down. They'll build it back and it'll cost you twice as much to stay there, and that's what they're doing. I mean, it's just the way it is. But to get back on point here, sacrificing. I'm not telling you to give up everything in the world and go full on stock up on everything. But you got to start adjusting your mind to things here. What are you going to do when you're not able to go get that coffee? You're not able to go out and eat. All you have is what you got at your house. I've said it 100 times. When it happens, you have what you have. That's it. Are you going to be one of those, I keep saying, that's going to have to run out to the store and get something? Are you going to be able to sit back and say, okay, I'm good for this certain amount of time? I've told you before that the main things you need: food, water, protection, shelter. Food, you need to make sure you got a way to cook it. Water, you need to make sure you got a way to purify it. Protection, y'all you can understand what I'm talking about there. You need shelter. We can see it coming, what's coming, and a lot of people is just refusing to admit it. They think everything's just going to jump right back to normal, that we're just in a little slump. What we're witnessing every day is the steady, slow fall of America. We're in bad shape as a country, y'all. Bad shape. Look at the national debt, but yet we keep printing all this money and sending it everywhere. And now we're talking about letting Venezuela, some of their sanctions ease up. You know why? It's not because they're having all that trouble and their society is collapsing. It's simply because we want to buy their oil from them. You got to, will and deal with these people if you're wanting stuff. Guys, get out there and get prepped up the best you can. I'm not judging you as far as, I don't want to come off as judgy is what I'm saying, but if you're out here buying $9 cups of coffee or stuff like it, going out to eat 3 or 4 times a week, you know, and you're saying I don't have the money to prep up anything, I don't have the money to do anything, to buy anything. You do. You just got to start figuring out how to get your money off that and put it over here on that. That's what I'm trying to say. I'm not telling anybody just sit home and be miserable or nothing like that, but you got to start thinking ahead. You got to start making moves right now to get prepped up on stuff. You need food. You know, it's still somewhat cheap and it's still available. Now you start getting into the other stuff like the solar and all this, we've talked about it, it's starting to go up in price. Supply and demand. You know, 2 years ago, the little wood stoves that you'd put in a tent, they were around $45 to $65. When you go online and look at them now, the little wood stoves that go inside a tent now, they're over $100. And that's because more people's buying them, so they're charging more for it. Some people's going to say, well, it's because, you know, the products have went up. That's somewhat true, but the more people buy stuff, like these specialty things, they'll start going up in price. Supply and demand. But guys, get out there and get prepped up best you can. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please subscribe. We're trying to hit 500 subs by the end of the month. I don't know if we're going to do it, but we're trying to do it. Like or dislike the video, doesn't matter to me. Leave a comment below. The more interaction I have with y'all, the higher up in the analytics I go, the more my videos get seen. I thank every one of you who watch my videos, and feel free to share any of the videos I have. Go back through them. There might be a video on there that interests you. There's some on how to store dry goods long term and things like that. Everybody stay safe, get prepped up, keep your head on a swivel, and always be aware of your surroundings when you're out in public. You're not safe anywhere anymore. Stay safe, get prepped.